Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, come on. Let's raise the motherfucking roof for our final act of the evening. Give it up for Andrew Portelli!
Thank you, Emo. Hello, everybody. Hello. Great to be here. Yeah, that's not really my energy, is the banging the tables, but thank you, appreciate it. This is awesome. We're out tonight and we're socialising and we're mixing and mingling. And it's fun, isn't it? To socialise sometimes, but it can be stressful as well. Sometimes you get stuck making small talk and it can be so dull. Don't you find? And so what I like to do to make it more interesting is I like to punish people with small talk. There's just something in my brain that's like, you want to make chit chat? I will fucking ruin you. What I like to do is I like to make the talk as small as possible, as specific as possible, till they feel like they're going to lose their mind. I was talking to someone recently, we were talking about where he was living. He told me down to the exact intersection. And I was like, there's a roundabout there, isn't there? And he went, yeah. And I went, I've turned there. And I thought, I've obliterated this prick. He was good though, to his credit. He went, which direction? Which was unbelievable. I didn't know I was dealing with a master. You know your judo well, my friend. Had to socialise recently. My partner and I, we had to go to a baby shower in a suburb called Keilor. Yes. And the only important thing you need to know for this story about Keilor is it's 50 minutes from where we live. And what happened was my friend and his wife, they're having a baby, they live out there. And essentially, 7 months ago, they had penetrative sex. And he climaxed inside of her. Quite deep, I think. And as a result of that, we had to spend $50 on a teething ring, wrap it and drive it to Keilor. And it's not that I'm not happy for them, I just wish they'd done that when petrol wasn't $1.90 a litre. Because we didn't budget for that particular orgasm. We didn't know. We had hoped to go away for the next long weekend. We didn't know that roughly 30 weeks ago he was hunched over her, just thrusting into her body, and now we can't see Apollo Bay. And I know they weren't thinking about that at the time. They weren't thinking, Andrew's going to have to take the toll road. He was probably thinking, I'm good at sex. And she was probably thinking, I hope this ends soon. They weren't thinking about poor old me. And I don't want to come across as too negative. I don't want to come across like a dickhead, because if you've been to a baby shower, you'll know it's a positive thing. It's a celebration, isn't it? You know, you go there and you go, congratulations, you did it. You did a big wet one. You say that to him, don't you? You say, good boy. You did a big sloppy one. You're such a strong boy. And to her you say, and you took it. And you've kept it going, and that's so wonderful. It is. It's a wonderful, special thing. It is, if you think about it. You really picture it. It's just think like something so small could hit another thing that's so small, and that tiny collision could have the power to fuck up so many people's Saturday. What else would you call that but a miracle? At these events, of course, you do have to make conversation, and there is a topic of conversation that we need to ban in this country. We have a sickness in this country. We need to stop talking about house prices because it's such a divisive topic. It's so divisive. Because if you're already a homeowner, obviously you want the prices to keep going up. And if you're not a homeowner, obviously you want a homeowner to be murdered in their house so you can buy their house at a reduced price. So it's hard to connect because they want to know what's the best price for a below ground pool, and you want to know what's the best way to get blood out of a hardwood floor. That's why every time I hear a politician talking about home invasions and African gangs, I'm like, good. Start hitting Brunswick. I want to live there. So many cute cafes. Not to be insensitive, I'm just tired of people saying there's no solution to the housing crisis. So we haven't even tried violence. Give that a go. Thank you. Yes. Remember to vote. My partner and I, Kim, we don't have kids ourselves, so we have a lot of spare time, and the way that we fill our fascinating lives is we like to go to different places and we just kind of look around. Do you ever do that? You go somewhere, you're like, oh yeah, and then you head off. We like to go to Aldi and we look in the middle section and discuss the items, and there's some interesting stuff in there. At the moment they're selling a slow juicer. That's interesting. Because you would think you would want a fast juicer. Usually with the juicer you put the fruit in, don't you? And the juice comes out fast. But with the slow juicer, you put the fruit in, the juice comes out in a while. And it made me curious, why do they do the slow juicer? And I looked into it. The reason is that the slow juicer actually retains more of the nutrients from the fruit inside the juice. So now there's a new halfway point between traditional fast juicing and just picking up the fruit and eating it. But it does require a lot of trust, because there is a period of time where you have neither the fruit nor the juice. And they're also selling a memory foam bath mat. At Aldi, have you seen the memory foam bath mat? No? It's good. It remembers your feet. Because so often you step out of the shower, don't you, onto the bath mat, and it's like touching a stranger. But with the memory foam bath mat, you step out and it's like, welcome home. And that's at Aldi, they have that in the middle section. And that's the sort of, if you're single, that's the sort of shit you're missing out on. Kim, my partner, she's always trying to get me to go hiking. And hiking, if we're all being honest, hiking, that's just another form of looking around. You go out to the bush somewhere, you see a waterfall, you're like, oh yeah, water's up there, gets to the edge, logically it's going to fall. You want to head off or what? What are we doing? Sometimes when you're out there, someone will see an animal, they'll see like a wombat or something, and they'll go, wow, a wombat. And it's like, yeah, this is where they are. Save your wow. For if you saw one on the bus or something, that would be a wow. This is so normal. This is where they live. If any, really, the wombat should be saying, wow. What are you doing out here? You should be at Officeworks. You've got a small business to run. We went to this. I'm very excited to share this. This year, we went to the Melbourne Food and Wine Expo, and we had a look around there. And there's some new food and wine coming out. We saw it at the expo. 6 months from now, you'll see a food. You'll go, oh, that's new. And I go, no, I've seen that already. There's a new type of jam. You'll see it eventually. It's called alcohol-infused jam. And I saw that and I was like, well, that's awesome. Because so often in the morning when I have my toast with jam on it, I look at it and I think, I wish I was hammered right now. I've got to go to the post office later. I'd love to drive into the back of another car. This will pair nicely with my butter that has cigarettes in it. This pissed me off. At the Food and Wine Expo, there was a gin, which is obviously neither a food nor a wine. I guess because words don't fucking mean anything anymore. That's why this country's in the fucking toilet. There was a gin, and it had gin with native botanicals. And if you drink gin, you'll know that's a game changer. Because until now, you could only get gin that had foreign botanicals. They weren't from here. Now there's a gin that has native botanicals. And I tried it, and it is different. Because I had a little sip, like a sample sip, and then went to the next stall over, and there was a guy, he offered me a chip with, there's a new salsa on the way. And this is when the native botanicals kicked in, because I told him, fuck off, I'm full. These are true blue Aussie botanicals. They made me xenophobic. So yeah, it's good. Good to be here. Have been doing a lot of shows and travelling around, and I go by car and drive a lot, cover a lot of kilometres, and I love driving. The only bad part is I keep getting abused by cyclists, and I don't know I don't know why. I don't know if it's because they're jealous, because they are on a bike and I am in a 2019 Kia Cerato, or if it's because I will sometimes just swerve into the bike lane. For whatever reason, they're mad at me. The part that I don't like is they always say this. They always say, you need to be more careful on the roads. And I hate hearing that as a driver. Because the thing is, I am being careful. This is how careful I'm being. I'm in a car. That's like a gazelle telling a rhino, hey, watch where you're going. Brother, if you don't want the horn, don't join the stampede. Tell me to be careful. Why don't you be careful? Check out a Kia. They're good cars now. A little less nag, a little more airbag. Don't lecture me on safety. I can see the outline of your dick and balls. You're so vulnerable. You're so exposed. I could finger you. It's true. I could finger a cyclist by the side of the Maroondah Highway. It would be easy. It would be simple. It would be my pleasure. Folks, you have been wonderful. Have a great night. See you later.